With our three back out as a flanker to the left, Kazmaier passes to Reed for 13 yards and a first down on the Princeton 43. McNeil handing forward to Chandler here, who pitches wide to Kazmaier, with an excellent block by Dick Valences, which gives Kaz an opportunity to tightrope down the sideline for a long run and the first touchdown of the game. On third down, Bagnell's long pass into the end zone is intercepted by George Sella, but unfortunately out of the field of play. With fourth down and 10 to go, Bagnell again passes to Wettlaufer, who juggles the ball in circus style when hit by McCandless and Sella, but retains to score standing up. Note the block on Hickok by... With the score 14-6 against us, we see Kazmaier from his own 45 running a sweep to his left, and with a nice partial block by Cliff Curris, setting him free for 55 yards and the last touchdown of the game. On the next play, Davison breaks free between the Harvard guards and races 69 yards for his third touchdown of the day. With first down and 10, on our own 48, Davison applies the crusher as he breaks free on the same buck lateral trap, this time to the left for 52 yards and his fourth and final touchdown. On third down now and 14 to go, Kazmaier pitches out to Sella on his screen pass, and George finds the middle open with blockers to spare, scoring our first touchdown of the game. Reichel's kick is good and Princeton leads 7-0. Later in the third quarter, with a score of 14-6 for Princeton, we next see... It's 7-0, in spite of what the scoreboard said. On a beautifully sustained march, Sella returning the kickoff to the Princeton 30-yard line. Kazmaier feeds off to George Sella on a fake pass and run, and George gets a first down on the Princeton 45. Here's a nice screen pass by Kazmaier, thrown out to Chandler, who gets 12 yards for a first down on the Dartmouth 43. Led down in there by Alan Clark and Dick Valences, his blocker. Kaz, running wide to the left this time, is forced out of bounds for a negligible gain. With Sella out as a flanker, a fake jump pass and handback is finally thrown by Billy Kleinsasser, but is incomplete, though George is behind the defenders. On third down and 8 yards to go, Kaz hits George for the win. winning touchdown with 90 seconds left in the ball game. A beautiful juke by George and a fine block by Emery let him score standing up for a thrilling 19-13 triumph.
It's now the Navy game. The ball's on Princeton's 32, first and 10, and Zastro handed off to Franco. Following a penalty, wide sweep into the sideline. Well played by McPhee, and a great tackle by Pivrado. Navy's left half in motion to the right. In formation quarterback, Zastro back to pass. He throws a long pass down to his left end, which is well covered by Frank Reichel. An attempted pitch out and a fumble, and Holly Donen goes in to tackle Franco, who recovers the ball. And Navy now punting. It's blocked by Frank McPhee coming in from the end, and recovered by Holly Donen, giving us the ball on Navy's 33-yard line. Jack Davison out as a flanker. Ball goes to Kazmar in the tailback position. He takes a reverse and hits John Bunnell, the right end, crossing over. He's down on the 20. Our end is now over as a flanker, and the ball goes to Jack Davison at the buck lateral trap. Goes to the Navy 16. Dick Kazmar on a running pass, goes to Bobby Unger, who makes a spectacular catch between three Navy men. The ball ending up on the 8. And now in left formation, Kazmar throws to Unger, who's alone in the end zone, making the score 7-0. For the second half. Gordon fumbles momentarily, picks up the ball, and has a good run back. But he's brought down hard here on the 32. Left formation now. It's the old buck lateral trap on the guard. Davison running off to his left. Makes a 9-yard gain. Now run the wedge for the first down. And another buck lateral play, this time from Davison. It's a switch off from Davison to Chandler, who pitches out to Dick Kazmar. Dick Valentis out as an interferer. And Dick turns on the speed to go down the sideline for 17 yards. First and 10, Davison out as a flanker. It's a reverse run with Porky Clark leading Bobby Unger down the sideline for a good solid 10 yards. On the left side over there, Kazmar on the running pass again. This time he throws to George Chandler, who is free. And George knocked out of bounds for a 17-yard gain. We're in left formation. And watch this big tackle. We flew him completely. Davison goes through a huge gap to the 5. It's now second, goal to go. Dick Kazmar runs a power, off tackle to the left, and almost scores. Making the first down. And here we have now the old wedge play with Jack Davison diving over the top to make it 14-13 for Navy. Bobby Unger's back, triangling dead on 5 to win the ball game. The first is Kazmar off tackle for 5 yards. Now it's Jack Davison on a lateral guard trap with George Hawk throwing the trap. Goes through the middle, eludes one tackler, eludes the second tackler. and hurries for the goal line. But Tom Powers, the Navy safety man, overtakes him and brings him down on the 17. A net gain of 66 yards. Harry Patterson is now in for Davison, and he runs a buck lateral trap to the 10. Jack Davison is back in now again, and he hands off to George Chandler on a buck lateral sequence, and George plows to the 4-yard line. Davison tries to make the score from the wedge since it's barely stopped on the goal line, but he makes it on the next one for the winning score. Final score, 20-14. We're now up at New Haven in midfield. And Dick Kazmaier is running around quacking Bush's end, turns down the sideline, and in typical fashion drives very hard on a long run to the Yale 20-yard line. Right formation, a nice jump pass again to Reed, catches the ball, struggles hard, and goes to the 15. Now it's another of the buck lateral sequences with the end over on this side. The ball goes to Davison. He hands off to George Chandler. George runs off tackle and bowls his way to the 6. A Davison wedge makes it first down on the 3. Watch the drive of that line. Good for a first down. Now we go into left formation. And it's an in-and-out end run with Kazmaier carrying the ball. He takes the halfback in, and watch Jack Davison's block on Peters. It's a beauty. As Kazmaier scores, we lead 6-0. Off to Kleinsasser, who goes inside Quackenbush, down the sideline, and turns on the speed. Here's Peters chasing him. He puts that little juke with his hips in there and eludes him and scores standing up. Noel kicks the extra point. 1st and 10. Kazmaier runs around the Yale left end, turns up the field, is tackled by Dick Parcell for a 16-yard gain. From a double wing setup, a buck lateral handoff to Kleinsasser, running to the center of the line for 2. And now an in-and-out end run with Chandler throwing a grand block on the end. Dick cuts up inside, comes back toward the center of the field, and is dropped by Spears for a 14-yard gain. It's the familiar jump pass again, and this time Reed makes a sensational catch, finally recovers, and goes ahead to the 4. And on the next try, hurdles over the top to make it 20-0. Again, it's an outside play. Kazmaier running outside, shifting into high, and knocked out of bounds on the 10. Shannon on his buck feet play again. Watch the leg drive. He almost scored. The game was good for 7 yards. And now, as a surprise, the running pass, Kazmaier to Chandler, makes it look like an easy TD. Score is 26-6. And this time we have the ball with a handoff to Kleinsasser, who comes back into the sideline for a 14-yard gain. On a perfect pass for the touchdown. Unger converts, making the